Hi, today we're going to talk about number properties. So let's take a look at the first property, the commutative property. You always find the commutative property when you're dealing with addition and multiplication. And what happens is you'll see the numbers change order. They'll switch places. So for example, 4 plus negative 9 is the exact same thing as negative 9 plus 4. So they just traded places. In algebra, we would say A plus B is exactly the same thing as B plus A. Now with multiplication, it works as well. For example, positive 3 times negative 7 is exactly the same thing as negative 7 times positive 3. Or A times B is the same as B times A. So using commutative property, let's say I wanted to add negative 63 plus 38 minus 17. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is, remember, when you see the minus 17, we're going to add a line and change the sign. So this becomes negative 63 plus 38 plus negative 17. Well, we use the commutative property when we say we're going to add the negatives together first before we add the negative plus the positive. So let's put the negatives together first. So negative 63 plus negative 17 gives us negative 80. And now negative 80 plus 38, well remember, they're going to battle. The negatives are going to win, so I'm going to put them on top. 80 minus 38 gives me 42. And since the negatives won, it's negative 42. Now take a look here. It says use a commutative property to evaluate the expression. I just tell people to look for easy numbers to either add or multiply first. For example, take a look at number 1. 5 times negative 7 times 4. Well, I would encourage you to just do the 5 times 4 first, because 5 times 4 you can do in your head, that's 20. And then 20 times negative 7, well, the signs are different, so I know my answer is going to be negative, and then it's just negative 140. Take a look at number 2. The first thing I would do is rewrite the problem. It starts off 56 plus negative 115 minus negative 64. Well, remember, those two negatives are going to morph together to become a big addition sign. So this is 56 plus negative 115 plus 64. Now, I would encourage you to put the positives together. So let's add 56 plus 64, and that gives us 120. And now 120 plus negative 115, well, they're going to battle. The positives are going to win, and they win by 5. So it's positive 5 is our answer. Take a look at number 3. It's 91 minus 32 minus 71. Well, the first thing I would do is add a line and change the sign in front of the 32, and add a line and change the sign in front of the 71. So I have 91 plus negative 32 plus negative 71. And now, notice what I did here. I actually decided to put 91 plus negative 71 together, and that is because it gives me an easy answer of positive 20. And now positive 20 plus negative 32 just gives me negative 12. Okay, now let's look at associative property. Now the associative property, you want to look for the parentheses moving, and the numbers are frozen. So the numbers don't move, it's the parentheses that move. Let me show you here in this example where it says numbers. Notice how the 1 plus 3 is in parentheses, and then plus 6. Well, I want you to notice the order. The 1 is first, the 3 is second, and the 6 is last. So I had to write that on the other side of the equal sign. The 1 is first, the 3 is second, the 6 is last. But notice that I moved the parentheses. The parentheses are now around the 3 and the 6, not the 1 and the 3. In algebra, we would have in parentheses A plus B plus C equals, and notice it's still A plus B plus C, but notice how the parentheses have moved. They were around the A and the B at first, and now they're around the B and the C. Okay, it works for multiplication as well. So if I had 8 times 2 times 4, I could put the 8 times 2 in parentheses. That's the same as doing 8 times 2 times 4, where I would do the 2 times 4 first, or put them in parentheses. And you'll see the algebra examples here. that they had the A times B in parentheses on the left-hand side and then the B times C in parentheses on the right-hand side. So using the associative property, here's a quick example. Let's say they had negative 13 plus, and now in parentheses, it's negative 8 plus 30. Well, they're telling us they want us to do that first. But wouldn't it be better to put the negatives together first? So that's why we're going to move the parentheses, and we're going to put, so we have negative 13 plus negative 8 plus 30, the same numbers, but we're going to put in parentheses the negatives. So we add those together, and we get negative 21 plus 30, and then we add those together. Remember, the positives win the battle by 9, so it's positive 9. Okay, so now let's look at the guided practice. Now we're going to use the properties to evaluate the expression. I just tell you, look for fast ways to put numbers together, okay? So take a look at number 4. It's 15 plus negative 46 plus 25. They want us to put those two together first, but wouldn't it be better to add the positives together first? So that's what I did. I added the positives together to get 40, and 40 plus negative 46, well, they're going to battle, and the negatives are going to win by 6, so it's negative 6. Take a look at number 5. They have 37 plus negative 82 minus 37. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, remember when I see that minus sign, I'm going to add a line and change the sign. So this becomes 37 plus negative 82 plus negative 37. But take a look this time. Isn't positive 37 plus negative 37 0? They're additive identities, so I'm going to put them together first. That's fast. And then 0 plus negative 82 just gives me negative 82. Take a look at number 6. I have negative 5 times 9 times 40. Well, this time I would like to put together the negative 5 times 40 first, because that's, again, it's easy. It's mental math. That would be negative 200. And now negative 200 times 9 gives me negative 1800. Remember, when the signs are different, my product is going to be negative. Take a look at number 7. I have negative 12 times 5 times 3. I'm going to do the negative 12 times 5 first, just because, again, that's easy. So negative 12 times 5 gives me negative 60, and then negative 60 times 3, the signs are different, so my answer is negative, and it's negative 180. Take a look at number 8. I have 29 plus negative 34 minus 29. Well, remember, when we see a minus, we're going to add a line and change the sign. So this becomes 29 plus 34 plus negative 29. And I like to see that. Positive 29 plus negative 29. They destroy each other and make 0. So I have 0 plus 34, and that gives me 34. And this last example, number 9, 2 times 9 times 15. Well, I'm going to put 2 times 15 together first, because that's an easy number, 30. 30 times 9 is also easy to do in my head. That's 270.